want you to be a part of our studio audience. If you're in the Toronto area, contact us.
Well, before the break, we asked the question, should Canadians be expected to welcome the values of other cultures? And here's how the audience voted. 32% said no. That's almost a third of our audience. 47% said yes. And you can see that religion is still one of the issues that drives all of our values. And it has been cited as the strongest value many immigrants bring into the country. Well, to help us understand how that kind of value-based faith can be integrated, we're joined by Muslim author Raheel Raza and Ivana Pishoni, who coordinates the Intercultural Christian Ministry Center at Tyndale University. Ladies, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Raheel, let's start with you. How does a Muslim integrate their faith into Canadian life in a way that is a harmonious way and yet is still very Muslim?
Well, you know, first of all, it is the acceptance and understanding that at the basic foundation, most faiths teach the same things, which is good towards others. There's not that much of a difference. And then to understand that in order, as a Muslim, for me to appreciate and understand my own faith, I must also learn about you. I must understand your faith as well. What this poll tells me is that most Canadians are saying, yes, we have been asked for too long, for too many years to accept others' values, while our Judeo-Christian values are not being accepted that easily. We are not allowed to say Merry Christmas. It's become politically incorrect to talk about Christianity as such. So as a Muslim, I find that offensive.
Okay, let's go to the Christian Center. Ivana, how do you feel those values should be integrated that are based on our faith?
Well, I believe that your faith depends on your journey. And as Christ followers, Christ came to shut down kind of religion. And as if we are going to be Christ followers, we need to accept people and their journey and their faith and where they're at. Christ, as you said, also had a base of love others, love your neighbor. And that is all embracing and including. So I think that's a very important point, that although they're coming with different values, we should still respect them and love them.
Okay, so give us some advice then about being apprehensive, because it is our religious communities that we put our biggest walls up between. How do we take that down and be inclusive? What would be your advice for welcoming a Muslim into Canada?
Stop being politically correct. Ask the right questions. You know, curiosity is human nature.
So just say, what does your faith believe?
What do you believe? How can we share? How can we pray together? How can we stay together? I have a sticker on my car that says, if we pray together, we stay together. And certainly, ignorance leads to fear. This is what it's all about. When we are ignorant about each other's faiths, each other's beliefs, it leads to fear and racism and discrimination. So we need to know more about each other. We need to talk to each other, communicate with each other, and ask those questions which are not under the banner of multiculturalism, which says, you know, hold back, don't ask anybody these leading questions. How are our children going to integrate if they don't interact with each other? And you know what? We don't have to all like each other, but we must respect each other.
Ivana, here we have a Muslim telling us that Christians are being too quiet about their distinctives in our culture. Would you say that's your experience?
I love her already. You're coming home with me. Yes, and you have a good point. It is all about relationships. It's not about a political agenda. It's not about being politically correct. It's about the human journey. We're all human. No matter what culture, what faith you come from, it's about relationships and community, and praying together and being curious about each other.
Okay, both of you are experiencing people from other countries coming into your places of worship as leaders. Imams from overseas are coming to lead Canadian mosques. Ivana, we have many Christian missionaries coming from different faith groups. What's happening with the revitalization of faith through immigrant communities?
I think it's an exciting time. I think we in the West were missionaries, and we went out to the East to evangelize. And now the East is coming to us. Canada is a completely multicultural community. And they're coming, the diaspora church is coming here with a passion and a love for Christ and for God because of their journey. They have lived a tough journey. They've come to their knees and known God and met God in a way that maybe here in the West we haven't experienced in a long time.
Raheel, is your new imams coming in, are the new people filling the mosques revitalizing faith, or?
Well, absolutely. It's not just the new people, it's the different backgrounds that they're coming from. And everybody who comes from diverse cultures brings the beauty of their own cultures. It could be one faith, but many different cultures. The beauty of being in Canada is like it's being in a university where you can learn world religions for free.
Okay. Okay, and we do actually have an interesting university movement in the audience. We have a great studio audience tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Donna Dong from InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, your student clubs attract hundreds of people, thousands, all across every university campus in Canada. And yet they're all different ethnicities, but they're coming in through actually one rather narrow banner, which you're presenting, which is Jesus Christ. How do you do that harmoniously?
Well, Lorna, I think it's just what these two ladies are saying, too, that it's good to engage some just fundamental core human values. One of the things that we start with is to believe that Jesus welcomes people of all cultures and all ethnicities. And so that difference, cultural difference, isn't something to be scared of or frightened by, but something to engage with. If we're going to build relationships with people, we need to relate. Right. And so that's what we thought, you know, God is the author of such wonderful cultural diversity. This is what we believe in Jesus Christ. So let's just really live that. And so we've encouraged our students, our staff to let's just live out what Jesus teaches us, to be open and embracing and welcoming to all. One story, there's one of our young staff, Hong Kong born, Canadian raised, and she's working at Wilfrid Laurier right now, and she's working with a Canadian student out of a Jamaican background and empowering her in her leadership to do a gospel choir on that campus, inviting different people to enter into that experience.
All right, thank you very much. Well, now it's time to find out what you think. Have you ever helped an immigrant integrate into Canadian society? Curious to see what that poll answer will be. Send us your answers both electronically on our Facebook or Twitter, leave us a video message on our website, or give us a phone call on the line you see below there. We'd love to have you be part of our conversation. We'll ask our studio audience to take a live vote, and we'll have those results when we come back. Coming up, a Christian community center that opens its doors for new Canadians and why it allows Muslims to pray there at the same time. We'll be back.